Okay, thank God it's a Good Friday. My name is Olanapo Kunubi. Welcome to Kiko Sports Show, the Good Friday edition. And on the show this morning, we'll look at stories making rounds the world of sports, from the local to the foreign team, looking at tennis, looking at NBA, looking at Formula One. Well, a man made a return, maybe resurrected to his managerial position in Chelsea. That happens to be Frank Lampard, and he's saying he's ready to get it right this time around. But a lot of people spoke about Harry Kane because of the way he fell, in the last game. But hey, Stellini is saying maybe some ex-Tottenham Tottenham players don't respect Harry Kane, but he deserves a lot of respect. Remember, we're live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939FM, facebook.com/solutions939FM. You can as well watch us live on YouTube, Solutions939FM. Do not go anywhere, Kiko Sports Show is live. Okay, so let's jump straight into it this morning. Well, let's start with tennis, where we have a series of updates of games going down today. But let's start with stories of result of games decided yesterday. Thursday's action at the Houston Open has again been called off without any matches completed due to persistent rain in the area. It is the second day in a row without a match being completed after Wednesday's play only made it through one set. Max Purcell took the first set of the match against Daniel Altmaier on Wednesday before Altmaier came back to win the second set on Thursday, and then will hope to complete the match on Friday when they resume, with Purcell leading 6-4-3, 6-4-3. And I feel like, they always say that Oyinbos always check the weather forecast to know, what will surely happen. But due to the weather, things are not really in favor of tournament organizers. But let's just quickly look at what is going down today. Look at Australia Open, the Grand Prix Hassani. Then we look at the Charleston Open. Well, Madison Keys defeated Magdalene Niet 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 today. For the WTA 500 Charleston Open, while Daniel Collins teaming up with Daria Kwasek, beating Kristina Mladenovic and Shuang Xiang 6-3, 3-6, 10-7. Games are going down today. Looking at the singles, Anja Bar will be in action today. Wow. She'll be up against Anna Kalinskaya by 6 o'clock, and by 7:30, Madison Keys will take on Daria Kasatskina, with Belinda Bencic taking on Ekaterina Alexandrova. We've got more games to go down today. Let's look at what is happening at the... let's go straight to Morocco at the Grand Prix Hassan to Marrakesh. We've got Andre Vavazori taking on Daniel Evans by 11:30, as we have Roberto Cabelas Biana battling Talon Graspo, Lorenzo Musetti battling Alexandre Muller by 2:30, as Pavel Kotov take on Christopher Alconet by 4 o'clock. At the Astoria Open, well, in the doubles, Sander Gill and Joran Vilgan walked over Rado Albiot and Victor Vlankone. But let's look at all the singles games going down today before talking about the NBA this morning. Remember, Super Falcons of Nigeria will be in action also today as they start their preparations for the World Cup. They've got two friendly games or so, and according to what we are getting from the Super Falcons camp, the energy is positive, the energy is high, and let's go. Check some updates at the Australia Open for the singles games scheduled for today. Marco Cecchinato will be up against Alejandro Davidovic Fokina, as Memero Kremanovic will take on Bernabe Zapata Miralles. Dominic Thiem will be up against Quentin Hallis, as Casper Ruud battles Sebastian Baez. 6:30 is the time for that one. All right, now let's just quickly move a beat and talk about the slammer and dunk game. Okay, so let's talk the NBA this morning with some games that decided in the wee hours of today. Cleveland Cavaliers defeated Orlando Magic 118-94 points as the Miami Heat traveled to play Philadelphia 76ers and beating the Sixers 129-101 points. San Antonio Spurs defeated Portland Trail Blazers 129-127 points. 2-point difference in that one as Utah Jazz sat back at home. Lost against Oklahoma City Thunders 98-114 points. Phoenix Suns defeated Denver Nuggets 119-115 points. Well, and if that is it, the NBA announced on Thursday that it has denied a protest issued by the Dallas Mavericks over a disputed basket that occurred during the team's 2-point loss to the Golden State Warriors on 22nd of March. The league said in a statement that game officials incorrectly handled a confusion sequence that led to a Warriors basket late in the third quarter of Golden State's eventual 127-125 victory, but determined the Mavericks were not denied a fair chance to win the game. Well, Dallas lined up on its offensive end following the timeout, which led to the Warriors inbounding the ball to Kevin Looney for an uncontested dunk that gave Golden State a 90-87 lead. So now let's go straight to the second half of the show where we talk football. Yes, the Nigeria Premier Football League going down this weekend, and it's going to be a Southwest derby. Shooting Stars versus My Remo Stars.
Keep it 93.9.
Welcome back to Kiko Sports Show, your Remedy Radio Down Solutions 939 FM. It is the first half of the AM update where we look at everything sports. And in case you're just tuning in, my name is Oladapo Okunubi, but you can call me Young Striker 9. Right, but now let's ride and go straight to talk about the Nigeria Premier Football League. Talk about games going down this weekend with teams getting set for the match day 13. Remember, Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan went on the road last weekend, picked up not even one. They picked 3 points against Kwara United, and that game, yes, was decided in Akure. So maybe there was no jet lag, there was no tiredness. That was why they were able to pick that point. I mean, not just 1 point, but 3. However, let's look at what will be happening at the match day 13, where Kwara United will be the guest of Bendel Insurance. And, look at Bendel Insurance, yet unbeaten in the NPFL so far this season. The only team to record that this season. Dakara FC will be at home as a welcome Doma United. Eyimba International will take on Plateau United. Lobby Stars at lock hands with Abia Warriors. These games are going down tomorrow, Saturday. And on Sunday, Aqua United hosts Nasarawa United. El Kanemi Warriors will be the guest of Gombe United as Niger Tornadoes battles Rivers United. Sunshine Stars of Akure host Enugu Rangers. Wiki Tourists of Bochi host Bayelsa United. And the biggest one for this weekend is the clash going down at the Lagos Alami Sports Complex Ibadan, where the Oli Warriors will take on Remo Stars. Look at the team's positions on the NPFL log. Remember, LMC has taken, IMC has taken 3 points from Remo Stars, most especially with the sanction that came 2 days ago. Remo Stars is still third on the NPFL log with 21 points from 12 matches, winning 6, drawing 3, losing 3, scoring 11, and conceding 10. Shooting Stars Sports Club of Ibadan is 6th on the NPFL log. And, they had to separate the win, the draw, and the losses. Shooting Stars has won 4 matches, drawn 4, and lost 4, scoring 15 goals, conceding 17, and they've been able to amass 16 points from the Group A of the NPFL. Look at teams battling relegation. Nasarawa United is with 8 points from 12 matches. El Kanemi Warriors with 8 points from 12 matches. They've been able to amass just 8 points each. The team closest should be Kwara United, placed 8 on the NPFL log. 9 and 10 is Nasarawa United and El Kanemi Warriors. While in Group B, Lobby Stars is topping that group with 20 points from 11 matches, while Rivers United from 10 games, they've got 19 points, meaning they've got 2 games in hand. Doma United is third with 19 points. Look at teams battling relegation in the NPFL. Wiki Tourist, Dakada FC in the Group B. Wiki Tourist 9th with 12 points from 12 matches, winning 3, drawing 3, losing 6, while Dakada FC is with 8 points, losing 8, drawing 2, and winning just 2 games. Okay, so that's what is obtainable talking about the NPFL. Let's talk about Nigeria Super Falcons.
J Slick. Hey. She dey play ball low. Hey. And she dey score goal low. For my heart, you. And she dey give them colo. Hey. God, now you be my ass now for life, oh. My true love no be joke, you be my wife, oh. My wife, oh. Barcelona, you too tight, oh. You be number 1, my left and right, oh. Right, if you be mine, you I go marry you. You be red devil, that's why I do you. Chelsea, I too cherish you. They play not small, I didn't feel you. If you be Marcel, I say they play well. By many, I say you too unique. PSG, you should be Roma, Bordeaux, and Leon. They play well, oh. They play ball, oh. For my heart, you. She dey score goal, oh. For my heart, you. She dey give them colo. Hey, she dey dribble them more. Hey. If you believe in Liverpool, the rest you dey give me go spin too. You dey give me liver. Hey, Juventus is the champion, Laila, you no go lose. You dey make them shake. If you be Real Madrid, I say you too rich. AC Milan, you're my number 1 fan. Inter Milan, baby, I'm your main man. You dey play ball, you dey play ball. Newcastle.
Okay, well, face play ball. Well, our ladies will be on the pitch today when they face Haiti. And well, we've got more games to go down. Talking about the women football friendly games. Remember, these teams are getting set for the FIFA Women's World Cup. Check the Twitter handle of the Super Falcons this morning. Well, that happens to be a throwback picture of Desiree Paranozie and Asisat Oshoala. And there was a TikTok video of Asisat Oshoala. Okay, Desiree Paranozie backing Asisat Oshoala. And the tag on that one says, then go feel it. Goal. Bangers. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's wait and see. Well, they had a training session yesterday at the Antalya, at the Emir Sports Complex in Antalya, Turkey. But let's just quickly look at some friendly games scheduled for today. 2 games already decided, where Argentina women played out 1-1 against Venezuela women, but the Venezuelans won that game via penalty. But for other games, Panama women defeated Dominican Republic 1-0. For the Greece women, will be up against Croatia. Ladies, Zambia, Shipolo Polo of Zambia will take on South Korea by 11 o'clock today. while Slovakia women will be up against Finland. The ladies, Scotland women will take on Australia women, as Iceland ladies will take on New Zealand. Serbia will be up against Bosnia-Herzegovina. 2 o'clock is for that game. Slovenia battles Romania. Sweden against Denmark. 3 o'clock we'll see Albania take on North Macedonia, as Israel will be up against Hungary. Estonia battles Malta. Portugal will be up against Japan. Belarus against Russia. Netherlands taking on Germany. Austria against Belgium. Uruguay against Peru. And France will be up against Colombia. And that France-Colombia game is going down 8-10 tonight. Okay, now we'll move away from that. Let's talk more women football. Well, the finalissima went down last night, and it was the 3 Lionesses of England winning that one penalty against the ladies from Brazil. Well, for those of you who missed that game, here is just to quickly take you back to what happened last night.
Williamson, James. It goes to Bronze inside to Stanway. Brilliant link-up play from England. Brilliant goal from England. And it's Toon who scores it. That's the way to carve open a pack defence. Ella Toon with a first half breakthrough for the Lionesses. Beautiful football.
Absolute quality. So much patience in everything England did with that move. Decent strike from Stanway.
Jay-Z slipping it through as well. Is there one more chance for Brazil? Oh, still ball! Equaliser! Andressa Alves! Brazil get their reward, a fully deserved leveller, and in added time. Are penalties about to happen? Brazil snatching an equaliser at the net.
You could feel it coming, Seb, even with 4 minutes on the clock.
But all that matters right now for Pia Sundhage is that her side have got that equaliser. All those caps, but can she convert here for Brazil? She can't, because it is a cross. And of course it's Chloe Kelly, the player who scored the winning goal in the Euros final. England fans can't watch. Will it be another one of those moments for Chloe Kelly? This time from the spot. A penalty to win it for England. It's Kelly! The first female finalissima goes to the formidable Lionesses. And it's Chloe Kelly again. But the players go and rush to Mary Earps, who played her part. Disappointment for Brazil, because they fought back to force the shootout, but this England side always find a way.
Certainly great character building for the team. The preparation for the World Cup wasn't smooth sailing.
Another title won for the England captain and for this England team. The 2023 winners of the finalissima are England.
So that was what went down yesterday in the inaugural women finalissima won by the Lionesses of England. And well, it ended 1-0 draw, but went into penalty shootout, and that was how the English ladies went all the way to claim the maiden edition of that particular one. Now, Wegman is coach of the England's female national team, and she's saying it was a good outing and better way to prepare for the Women's World Cup, where they are grouped in. They are placed in Group D alongside Haiti, Denmark, and China.
Yeah, that would be normal for me, for not for us. I think a great game, two different phases, first half, second half, and great learning. Lots of learnings for us in preparation for the World Cup. But nice the learning thing is nice, but we really wanted to win this one too. Well, this week we didn't have the opportunity a lot. We practiced it yesterday. And before the Euros, we practiced a lot at the scenarios and how, the walk and all those things, your whole plan. So we just repeated it a little bit yesterday that in case we should have a shootout, we knew what to do. And I think we did good. Well, I think Brazil played in two different formations. I think the first half we played very well, and they weren't able to get press on the ball, and I think we should have scored a couple of more goals.
Well, that was Wegman speaking there, although, I mean, the noise from that stadium. However, I think what we also need to pick from that was she was able to study the formation of Brazil. And we just hope that our Super Falcons coach, Randy Waldron, will not come out to tell us that unfortunately we could not match the power, or we are learning at the World Cup where we should be able, to take on the world. Right? Okay, so, but let's just quickly look at what Brazil is in Group F of the FIFA Women's World Cup alongside France, Jamaica, and Panama. We move away from Women's World Cup. Let us talk European club football this morning at remember last night Fares Kaibi struck late to help challenge past second tier of Messi and into the first Coupe de France final for 66 years with a 2-1 win at the Parc des Sports. Well, the result means Philippe Montagnard's side can look forward to clash with defending champions Nantes in the Stade de France next month. But remember, one game is going down in the French League on tonight, and that is the clash between Lens and Strasbourg. But in the Italian Serie A, remember we spoke about Romelu Lukaku, the suspension of Juan Cuadrado. Lukaku, same as what was placed on Juventus. Well, but let's talk about Victor Osimhen first, because we're getting an update that this man should be available, but it is on that maybe for his availability for the UEFA Champions League, where Napoli will be up against AC Milan. Stefano Pioli says AC Milan are fully focused on the Serie A clash with Empoli and not distracted by their upcoming Champions League quarterfinal against Napoli. Well, for Spalletti's hopeful, Victor Osimhen will be fit to face AC Milan in the Champions League quarterfinals, but the striker has no chance of playing Lecce in the Italian Serie A tonight. Now, looking at all the games scheduled for tonight, Salernitana will take on Inter Milan 4 o'clock tonight. AC Milan against Empoli 8 o'clock tonight. Remember, Napoli will be up against Lecce without Victor Osimhen 4 o'clock tonight. Well, that should be 6 o'clock tonight, I beg your pardon. Now, let's talk about one man who made a return to England. It's just like, when you are going back to your ex-girlfriend. Maybe. Frank Lampard spoke yesterday. Believes that his return can bring the positive vibe needed by Chelsea in their forthcoming games.
I'm confident in myself. I have a good understanding of the squad. Of course, I've worked with a lot of them before, but also the training ground, the stadium, the fans, what Chelsea fans want, and I'll do my utmost in this period coming to give them what they want with my own hard work. I know there's a lot of talent in this squad. I'm excited to work with that talent and help them. Modern day football has big squads, and I understand that Chelsea might be at the top end of that. I remember being here before, and I had lots of difficult decisions of really good players and good people that you have to tell you're not involved this week. And part of the job is to try and manage that situation and make every player feel included. Maybe in the beginning, going into this week being a short term, that's a positive thing for me, because everyone can have a clean slate as such right now and show in training and show what they can do and be competitive in training, and a competitive nature that will then cross over to the pitch. That's the good thing about a squad. I think to attempt to install the highest level of confidence I can with the group, for them to exert and show a level of passion of playing for Chelsea and an urgency and energy in their game. I think those are sort of like principles that I really want to talk to the players about.
That was Frank Lampard in his first interview after making a return as interim manager in Chelsea. But the question is, will he, meet up with the expectation? And, let's just quickly take a rundown of fixtures of games going down this weekend. Hey, remember, Haaland is back. For those of you who play the Premier League Fantasy, maybe you'll be on the bench, but please do not cap Haaland. I'm just begging, so that you won't waste your captain points. But let's look at games. Manchester United will be up against Everton tomorrow as Aston Villa hosts Nottingham Forest. Brentford hosts Newcastle United. Fulham will be up against West Ham United. Leicester City will be at the King Power Stadium where they host Bournemouth. Tottenham Hotspur will be up against Brighton and Hove Albion. It is a London derby, and Sterling is saying people should stop disrespecting Harry Kane.
I think it's strange that some ex-player said things I think wrong about Harry, because they are ex-player and they understand the difference between seeing a situation like this in a slow motion and live this experience in a real motion. It's completely different, and also the Everton's manager said there was a clear red card, so there's no discussion on this. I don't understand why some ex-player speak about this. I think they don't agree with Tottenham instead to don't agree.
Okay, so let's just hope that Harry Kane jumps away from that and, continue to start scoring goals for Tottenham Hotspur. Well, let's look at all the games scheduled for this weekend. Wolverhampton Wanderers host to Chelsea, and that will be the first game under the belt of Frank Lampard after making a second return. Making a return to Chelsea. He got the job first, got fired, and he's making a return. Southampton will be at the St. Mary's Stadium as they host Manchester City. Leeds United host Crystal Palace, and Arsenal will take on Liverpool. Okay, I just bought Salah. I believe something can happen. All right, now let's talk about the German Bundesliga as we wrap up the show this morning. Moving to the other side, where we look at headlines on pages of Nigerian newspapers. But hey, games are going down tonight, and it is the match day 27 in Germany. Borussia Dortmund Bayern will have to bounce back from the defeat they had in the DFB Cup. FC Köln will be up against the Augsburg tomorrow. Bayern Leverkusen against Eintracht Frankfurt. Borussia Dortmund will take on Union Berlin as Bayern Munich will take on Freiburg. Remember what happened in the DFB where they bundled Bayern out? Mainz will take on Werder Bremen. Hertha Berlin against RB Leipzig. Wolfsburg will take on Borussia Mönchengladbach as Bochum battles Stuttgart. Hoffenheim will take on Schalke. Well, remember in the Spanish La Liga, one game is starting tonight. The La Liga weekend game starts tonight, and that's Sevilla taking on Celta Vigo. Well, guys, we wrap up and we'll move to the other side. Many thanks to Oluwatimileyin, Oluwadamilare, watching live on Facebook, and Shegun Afolabi, including Amuzat Akorede, Thierry Mithi. Remember, guys, we're still live. We're going nowhere. We'll go to the other side where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. AM Update is still live. My name is Oladapo Okunubi. Do not go anywhere.
Keep it 93.9.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash, as long as you get Momo account. No cash, no wahala, and e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Ibadan! Elections are over and it's time to come together as one. Join Bega Dink and friends at Life Matters the Southwest Unity Tour. Featuring Q-Dot, FaZe, SJXY, Jesse King Puga, Oke Bakassi, Funky Malam, Omar Baba, Dr. Smile, Baba Laria, General Lack, DJ Sexy, Baba Kamo, Archbishop, Wally Agba, Lepashos Bosse, Nepa Boys, Koja, Tai Chi, Paul the Good Guy, and more. Regular 3K, VIP 10K, Table of 8, Gold 250K, Platinum 500K. Tickets available at Fuko Supermarket Outlet, Gracie Mart Akobo, Grand X Store Outlet, Ultima Restaurant Outlet, Filmhouse Cinema Dubai. Dugbe, and Samonda. Hersent Palms Mall and online at ariatickets.com. Date is the Sunday, 9th of April. Venue, Jogos Center, Ibadan. Time, 3 p.m. Powered by Maltina and Goldberg. Supported by the Oyo State Government. Laugh Matters, Ibadan. Kosi Pressure. Media partners.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
Saleko is the jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don't land for Prime Video and na the #1 film. So make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adesua Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more. Plus the genge action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, japa to Prime Video.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
The Naira Games with your favorite radio presenters. The music with loads of fun and entertainment. It's Buxton World. Buxton World presents the Naira Game Show in the city of Ibadan. Featuring lots of games to win lots of money. And also get a chance to mingle with your favorite radio personalities. Coming live every last Thursday of the month at Platinum Club's outdoor stage. Number 2, Awolowo Avenue, Old Bodija, Ibadan. From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The game ticket is 500 Naira. And you can get yours in all the radio stations in Ibadan. Or you can log into www.buxtonworld.com to play off stage. For sponsorship, call 0905-362-5550. Proudly supported by Platinum Club and all the radio stations in Oyo State. Buxton World Naira Game Show. Every player is a winner.
Keep it 93.9. Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
It's another Good Friday and we are all excited and ready for the Easter celebration. Congratulations to everyone having their public holidays for today and Monday.
So
some of us...
No congratulations to us.
There's no such thing.
Okay. There's no problem.
Exactly 35 minutes gone past 9. Welcome to another edition, the last for the week, from the dailies, where we look at the front pages of the Nigerian newspapers and raise some spotlights with our analysis this morning. I would be looking at the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper. My name is Victory Richard.
Okay, we made a punch at the Nation newspapers this morning. My name is Oladapo Kunubi. Remember, you can watch us live from anywhere across the globe. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM. Same as our YouTube platform, Solutions 939 FM.
All right, let's get right into the papers. Alright, starting the papers from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. 10th Senate presidency race hots up as dark horses emerge. Find that on page 3. Leadership hits crisis in Labour Party. Find that on page 23. National VP South says he's the acting chairman. Wasaiu Lalu Abbas 2 orders in battle for speakership. Read up on that on page 22. And now to the banner headline: Nigeria more divided than we thought. Obasanjo, find that on page 3. Right as to that, says incoming government must seek national reconciliation. Describes last election as show of shame. Decries growing debt profile. Says country spending like drunken sailors. Interim government mischievous, unconstitutional. Military making that statement. Read up on that on page 3. Obidate's comments not in violation of section 37 of Criminal Code. Falana. You can find that story on page 4. Change. We need change of constitution. Adebanjo. Find that story on page 8. Audio tape about religious war. Fake. Obi saying that. Wants end to APC attacks on him. Read up on that on page 4. Gunmen kill 46 in Benue State. Ondo Varsity students stabbed to death over 1,000 naira. Students set suspected killer's house ablaze. That story you can read up on 28. These are the stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Okay, going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning, and cap headlines here. Macron seeks China's action to end Russia-Ukraine war. Leadership crisis tears Labour Party apart. Abure, Apapa lay claim. Obasanjo urges incoming government to begin healing, reconciliation. Pressure on me to go into self-exile. Obi alleges. And looking at other headlines here from the Nation newspaper. The red headline here says gunmen kill 3 policemen in Edo, 3 Lagos residents. Why Tinubu was elected by US-based observer mission. And right after that headline says NDI RII leader Carson speaks on poll at meeting with minister in Washington DC. Okay, so you can see a front page picture on the Nation newspaper, and it's there's a tag to that picture that says some of the 33 internet fraud suspects during the parade by the EFCC in Owerri, Imo State. Now, looking at other headlines here, mischief makers are plotting interim government, says defense headquarters. No easy electoral victory again, Buhari tells politicians. Rivers APC suspends Amechi, attacks Moghalu, defends Soyinka. Okay. Attacks Moghalu, defends Soyinka. This and more you can find from the Nation newspaper this morning.
Alright, away from that, let's now move over to the Nigerian Tribune, beginning with this headline. Labour Party's crisis worsens as faction invades National Secretariat. Interest rate, pension fund investment in FG securities up to 16.5% to 9.9 trillion naira. Now to 2023 polls, Nigeria's political climate changes, Buhari making that statement. Peter Obi has no plan to leave Nigeria despite pressures, LPPCC speaking there. And now to the banner headline, Labour, NECA, NYCN rejects subsidy removal, palliatives. We are not party to palliatives talks by federal government. We insist on local refining, NLC. TUC rejects $800 million palliatives, says FG on its own. NECA fought 800 million palliatives insist on fixing local refineries. Nothing Youths threatens mass action. Says palliatives will be looted by government officials. Flight cancellations loom as fan denies oil marketers access to airports. Troops neutralizes 45 terrorists, rescue 118 kidnapped victims. Gunmen killed 3 policemen, injure 1 in Edo State. 2023 polls show of shame or Obasanjo. Interim government unconstitutional, military. Why high out of school children rate persist? Buhari's aide speaking there. Super Eagles drop Argentina, rise to the top. That you can find on page 37. These are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, punching down headlines from the Punch newspaper this morning. The cap headline says, Reps probe alleged 20 billion naira diversion by NNPCL officials. Sacked LP chair blames APC as police occupy secretariat. And this one says, killer headsmen raid Benue community, kill policeman, 45 others. Now, the banner headline this morning says, interim government parties back military as defense headquarters rubbishes plot, says calls illegal. Now, 3 riders to this headline. INEC has announced president-elect. Interim government can't stand. Defense headquarters warns. Called for interim government a coup. Treasonable, unpatriotic. APC, PDP, and MPP. And the last rider says military cannot interpret constitution, says LP, tells defense headquarters to avoid politics. Remain in Lagos for censors, Ohaneze, tells Igbo. IG decorate newly promoted DIG and IG's others. These and more of what we have on the Punch newspaper this morning, and we have so many headlines which you've been able to get. But remember, the Friday edition is always open mic. Remember, that it's a Good Friday, and we have a lot to talk about because Priscilla Oloyota will be joining us from a particular Good Friday venue, and today is also World Health Day, right?
Yes, so we'll be joined by a medical doctor to talk about some of the health cases or health situations that we somewhat trivialize in order for us to live a better and a healthy life. Remember, we are live on Facebook, so you can join in on the conversation by lending in your 2 thoughts on the comment section. We have a lot to talk about and be going right into it on the burning issue. What's funny?
So we start with education this morning, and Academic Staff Union of Universities President Emmanuel Oshodeke was speaking yesterday concerning the 320 billion naira 2023 intervention fund for released by the for the public tertiary institutions in the country. And reactions have been trailing this, and after the whole the way the money was, the breakdown for the money, according to Emmanuel Oshodeke, said 132 billion naira is left behind, and there should be, there's going to be a redistribution of this 320 billion naira. Also saying that a TET fund should also be checked. He also made it clear that, federal government has not done their part after calling off the strike. Remember the 8-month strike embarked upon by INEC, by ASU last year. This is Emmanuel Oshodeke, president of ASU.
This is part of what we struggled for in 1994. But there are issues that we need to also sort out. When you check the allocation of about 1.2 million to universities and others, you find out that the total for all the universities, polytechnic and education comes to just about 186 billion is what has been allocated out of about 320. Leaving a balance of 132 billion that have not been accounted for. What are we using that 132 billion for? Which is 41% of the total amount of money. If you look at all the university polytechnic, what they have allocated by this, what the ES said yesterday, it's just about 186 billion, 59%. So what of the 132 billion? Is it for bureaucracy? And I think there is a need to exactly look at what is happening in TET fund. The idea of this third fund, when it was negotiated by ASU, was that this money will come and distributed to universities, not keeping 41% for whatever purpose. I think there's a need for a redistribution of this fund to ensure that I account for at least 90% of what have been approved. They need to tell the public what is the third fund doing with the balance 132 billion. You see, let me answer this way. As far as the federal government, as far as the present government is concerned, once the strike is over, issue has been resolved. Or note that strike is a symptom of a problem. They abandon the problem since we call out the strike based on court directive, not a single meeting, nothing, all the issues, even the release of a white paper of the Vision Panel of 2021 have not been released. Just kept, because as far as the issue has been resolved, not a couple have been paid. Meanwhile, our colleagues in all the universities have almost made up for the past period that we were on strike. Check every university, most of the time, 2022, 2023. Because they have met up with 2021, 2022, they are in 2023, trying to make up for the backlog of what they didn't do while they were on strike. And the government is saying no. You see, it's so unfortunate that they don't have any single regard for the Nigerian education system.
That was the President, Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Shodeke. There. Are we not heading for another showdown from ASU anytime soon?
Well, we've seen telltale signs. We've seen this coming. This conversation is no news to me, honestly. We just hope we don't get to it because we've had to deal with 8-month strike. That's enough for Nigerian students. A lot of people have been retrogressed with their education as a result of these strikes that we've experienced over the years. So we don't hope to have another one. But I do buy some points to what he spoke about, checking TED Fund, because I mean, from the research I just Googled right now, I'm seeing that Nigerian universities are being given 20 million naira for research, staff development, conferences and whatnot for these TED funds. And he's alleging that they've not received, any of that. So they need to check the TED fund. I know that when I was in school, I hear some of my lecturers were beneficiaries of the TED fund. They traveled out of the country for research. And I even know one who just traveled recently, and she got a larger percentage of her scholarship scheme as a result of TED. Yes, yeah. TED fund benefits. So I think that should really be checked.
Okay, so now another thing happened yesterday, and that happens to be what came from the House of Rep in Abuja, where the federal rep was proposing 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria. The House of Representatives has passed for second reading the Medical and Dental Practitioners Act Amended Bill 2022, which seeks to make it compulsory for graduates in medical and dental fields, to stay back in Nigeria for 5 years before jackbuying. But let's listen to that particular voice here this morning.
From 24,000 to now, as I speak, we have less than 10,000 doctors in Nigeria. So that is alarming. So I now thought to myself that, okay, let us look at our laws, what is happening. I noticed that, look, the vacuum is that immediately after housemanship, we noticed that most doctors, because of greener pastures, there is a capital flight from Nigeria abroad to UK, America, and all that. Now, government has invested so much money in training these medical doctors. So if you realize, if they can now take advantage of our situation, okay, and now open their doors, because just recently in 2020, UK opened healthcare and visa to people. They were all going to UK and US too, and Canada. So what should we do? Should we fold our arms? So now, and I said, okay, maybe to give back to the society, that is to our people, after training you. Yes, we are not saying you cannot go abroad to make your money, but if government has subsidized your tuition, okay, to the tune of 40 to 150,000, the least we can get from you is that after your housemanship, before you are given full license, before you are given full license, yes, before you are given full license, at least you can give back to the society within a period of 5 years. So.
Okay, that's got the Punch newspaper. The sound there. Also, AIT in conjunction, but that has also generated lots of reaction.
Yes, it's a bill sponsored by the member representing Oshodi Osolo 2 Federal Constituency by the name Ganiyu Abiodun, speaking that before you're granted a full license to practice, after your housemanship, you must practice in Nigeria for 5 years. Now, it raises a lot of question, right? Our politicians report has it over the years that none of them receive treatment here in Nigeria. And there's been, a lot of conversation around would our politicians or political office holders start receiving treatment here in Nigeria. Good morning to you, Dr. Cornerstone. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good morning to you. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Happy Good Friday.
Well, thank you very much. The Good Friday. When someone dies for your sins, must be very Good Friday.
Yes, indeed. Let's get right into the conversation, Dr. Cornerstone. The reps are proposing a 5-year practice for medical doctors before leaving Nigeria. They said since they use taxpayers' money to sponsor some of their academic pursuits, then they should invest back in the country that invested in them by staying 5 years to practice here in Nigeria before sorting out greener pastures abroad or in other countries. What's your take on this, being that our health sector is saddled or met with a lot of malfunctions?
I can hear you.
Yes, please. So what's your take on the rep proposing a 5-year practice for Nigerian doctors before leaving the country?
It's actually very laughable because everyone who is a medical doctor in Nigeria today actually paid through the investing system and the training system in order to be a medical doctor. And Nigeria is seen to have equal rights and opportunities. And so it's not only the medical doctors that should be given that 5 years first investing in your nation before traveling. I think those people who also read Yoruba economics should be given that, that rule also should apply to all. One rule should apply to all of us. Those of us also who read agricultural science should be mandated to go and open farms. You understand what I'm saying? It's actually very, very laughable. When a nation is not prospering under a government and people find greener pastures, this is what is here. Last week, Lavenwa asked me a very important question, and that question was, why are people japa? Why are people traveling this particular time of the year of in our nation that everyone is japa? And I told him that the very thing that a nation stands to suffer when the people who are even supposed to be the ones who don't even qualify to follow you become your leaders. What normally happens is that the nation will lose talent. And I made mention of the fact that top 100 financiers and financial Mongols in the world, in those names, you will find Nigerians are having the highest percentage. Top doctors in the world, you will find Nigerians having the highest percentage. The reason is simple. And some people have also asked me, Dr. Cornerstone, what are you still doing in Nigeria? And I told them that day, I said, well, because they are beginning to realize that I, as a consultant, talks becomes cheaper when the people who are not even supposed to follow you, whom you would say, no, don't match Elemijo, becomes your leaders. So what normally happens is talent is the only thing you lose. And I would not blame anyone looking for greener pastures elsewhere where his talent can be better remunerated. If the person who is going to be our president today is said to be having a health visitation to whether France or Germany or wherever where they say he is right now, you just wonder what would be the hope of the common man who happens to be a medical doctor. He is not reasonable enough to treat the important persons in Nigeria, but you see he's not also well taken care of. And there are promises of better life, better greener pastures anywhere else in the world. It probably take that opportunity and leave us to our own squalor and suffering. And so I do not know the level to which I can say that rule saying that if you're a medical doctor, you must give your first 5 years to the motherland. I think is reprobate. It's not human, because everyone has the chance of finding the opportunity of where to go and make his greener pasture. If you feel that the pasture in your land is not green enough, you've got the right to look for greener pastures elsewhere.
All right, hypothetically, Dr. Cornerstone, let's assume that these reading pass and it becomes a bill in the country. Would you say that they should also pass a reading for government officials to also, no matter how complicated the health issue is, to seek help treatment here in Nigeria?
Yeah, that's the first thing you should ask, that the proponents of this law should first of all do. And anyone who happens to be a government official, who happens to be a lawmaker, who is looking for his health to be better taken care of, that should at least use the Nigerian hospitals. That way, we can now say, oh, it's okay. Then the people whom he says shouldn't look for greener pastures elsewhere can actually work in Nigeria and take care of the big people. You understand what I'm saying? But once a mosquito bites somebody at the National Assembly, the next available plane is going to London, is going to the UK, is going to America to go and take care of a simple malaria. You therefore ask yourself, to what extent can this not be a punishment for people who can look for greener pastures elsewhere? For God's sake, these people you are talking about paid for their school fees. They paid their school fees, they bought the night candles all by themselves. And if it is not for all professions that you must at least 5 years of your working years to the Nigerian dream, it therefore means it's actually singling out the medical profession at this time.
Very well, Dr. Cornerstone. Let's talk about the 800 million naira, $800 million, I beg your pardon, fund that was just received for subsidy. And there's been speculations that the Nigerian government will loot that money. However, they're saying this money is to be distributed to over 5 or 10 million households in Nigeria, making over 50 million Nigerians in general. Do you see Nigerians receiving this money? And it's been said it's for the vulnerable Nigerians. The question is, how was the data for these vulnerable Nigerians gathered? I don't know if you're one of the vulnerable Nigerians that we have.
I don't think I qualify for a vulnerable Nigerian. I don't think I qualify.
What qualifies a vulnerable Nigerian here, Dr. Cornerstone?
What qualifies a vulnerable Nigerian is your ability to say the of a politician. Yeah, what qualifies a vulnerable Nigerian is for you to say rank updated. It's for you to say, Oga, what you do for this country is good. Then you get 10,000 naira. I think that's what qualifies to be a vulnerable Nigerian, because there's no data in Nigeria. When monies of this nature are about going into private hands, into private pockets, that's when we remember that there are vulnerable Nigerians that the money is to be shared to. It's actually very, very appalling, the type of nation that is us. A lot of us believe that we don't deserve Nigeria. I'm sorry to use that word. I get you because do you know the number of housing deficits we have in Nigeria? Do you know the number of roads that are not working? Do you know the number of amount of pipe-borne water that is not accessible to Nigerians? And then you want to go and give such an amount and say you are sharing it to vulnerable Nigerians. And what is the data? What is your classification of the vulnerable Nigerian? Is it the beggars on the streets? How do you locate them? How do we access the fact that you have shared it actually to these people? It's actually very, very appalling that the people in government today do not even deserve. Well, okay, there's no word to actually qualify this thing. Sometimes you just finish speaking and you just have to start battling high blood pressure because, and there is something they say. There's this Yoruba I'd like to.
Dr. Cornerstone.
It's a particular adage and it's a song.
Okay.
And it's your toning now. Don't talk where block or no. You understand what I'm saying? It's the case of what we are saying now. Do you understand that, Yoruba?
Okay.
I don't know if that question is meant for me, but I think I can get your sentiment on this matter.
You gotta say.
Yeah.
You have to finish. You have to finish it.
Become the block road. The people were not supposed to become people. You can say, "Well, man, telling me, Tola telling me, I want only the one." You understand what I'm saying? That's what you will get. That's what you will get.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
Some of these persons who happen to be the people Well, when you are leading from a scarcity mindset, this is what normally happens. Things that you should actually devote to making development speak for your nation. You want to go and share the money. Well,
in their defense is to ease the subsidy now when it's removed, but it's all right.
But Dr. Cornerstone, I think we have to continue this conversation on Monday. We have good stories to also tell. I mean, it's Good Friday, and you also need to rest as well. Thank you very much for your time, Dr. Cornerstone.
Thank you very much.
Don't develop headache. Do not develop headache.
No problem. I have decided to speak.
You'll be fine.
Okay, that was Dr. Cornerstone, giving us his own view concerning the state of the nation and some of the talking points and burning issue this morning. Remember, you can be part of the show this morning. Send us a WhatsApp message send us to 0904 422 2939 0904 422 2939 as well. You can call the phone lines 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. So we connect with Priscilla Olowoyoto. I mean, it is Good Friday. So what's happening out there? According to update, she's currently at Okebola. There's a church there where she's going to be giving us what is happening there and how the Good Friday is feeling good in that area. I know. Okay, Priscilla Olowoyoto, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Dapo.
Yeah, good morning. It's Good Friday.
Good morning to you, Priscilla.
Good Friday. Good morning, Victory. Well done.
Yeah, so where are you this morning?
I'm reporting from the Cathedral of St. James the Great at Okebola here in Ibadan. And, it's Good Friday. That's what we're celebrating today. Let me not say celebrating. Let me say commemorating the death of Jesus Christ. It's supposed to be a sober day for Christians because Jesus Christ was persecuted and, he was nailed on the cross. And during the service here, the Good Friday service here at the Cathedral of St. James, the preacher likened the experience of Jesus to what is going on in the society. The title of the sermon was actually based on injustice. That Jesus Christ was unjustly persecuted. Even when he was taken to the Pilate said he had nothing to nail him with. He was taken to Herod as well. But the fact that his accusers were bent on, persecuting, seeing that Jesus Christ goes down, they threatened the Pilate. Told him they were going to report him to Caesar and all of that. So he likened it to what is going on in the judicial system in Nigeria right now, where people that are supposed to be judges, people that are supposed to rule over cases, they actually know the truth, but because the accusers are bent on seeing that the person goes down, they just threaten the judges or they bribe them. And, they have their way. So that's the case here. The service is actually still going on. And the representation of what Jesus went through, carrying the cross, putting a thorn on his head and all of that, I think that will be done in some churches during Station of the Cross by 3 o'clock. So that's the information I gathered. But for this morning, it's a very solemn service. And out there, outside the churches, today is the first public holiday and, trust people to make good use of it. We don't have a lot of people on the streets this morning except for people who are well-dressed going for church service. And I suspect that Ibadan people have scheduled Owambe for today already because I see a lot of beautifully dressed people on the streets. But as at this morning, we don't have a lot of them. The streets are not busy, no traffic congestion. And right now, the service is over. The procession just ended. So that's the report from here.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Priscilla Olowoyoto. And I mean, back then, part of the tradition was that, they'll tell people to take bitter leaf water or something to.
I don't know about that one, but I know of the Easter retreats. Most churches, yes.
Bitter leaf. You're also hearing
Yes.
No, I heard a story that at least to just try and feel the pain.
Why would you want
Jesus
to do
Christ
that?
also
That's
felt
weird.
then.
Nobody can feel the pain.
It's,
Yeah, it's just like-
it's I think it's a myth.
True, but
No, it's not a myth.
maybe a
It is not.
representation of
It is not.
what we think he went
Never heard it.
I mean, it's just like the washing of feet as well. So it's the
Yes,
same
that
thing.
was so
Taking bitter cola will just make you have a bitter taste. You can't experience.
Do you know people
doesn't
eat?
make it.
Do you know people
What
eat
of the
bitter
sun?
leaf?
Yeah, maybe
So,
wear the ton.
the
That,
water.
if they said they should wear the ton, I would believe that one. Not telling me eating bitter.
because he's injured Jesus. Nobody
Yes.
wants to be injured.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway,
Okay.
thank you, Priscilla. The one I'm very
Thank you very much,
conventional with is the Easter retreat that starts every Friday, then over to Sunday.
For some denominations, they do let's go fishing.
Yes, exactly.
that
This is
for,
the period for
evangelism
bringing
and all that.
people back to the knowledge of Christ.
And you know the funny thing, it also coincides with the Ramadan fast. And in the next few days, the Muslim people will also end their fast, and we have the celebration as well. So it shows that we're all one as Nigerians. We serve the same God, and
Right.
we all should just try to live together. Let's believe that Nigeria will be better. And there's this song we always sing back then, during this particular season. There's this song, Jesu Ja Jeke Sheke Mi. You should know.
Oh, I knew that one.
Okay. Okay, so part of the lyrics, like, and at a point in time, I felt like, okay, maybe I didn't get the lyrics right, but Okuo so mi dala ye ejere ye.
And that's the part I was really waiting for. To
Yes,
hear.
songs like this,
part.
but still have to go for long. But thank you very much, Priscilla Oluwayoto, for your update this morning. So, you also listen to more songs this morning. But let's go straight to another topic this morning. It is World Health Day, right?
Absolutely. World Health Day today. It's commemorated every 7th of March. This is April, rather. 7th of April 2023.
Yep.
It's basically to raise awareness, powered by the World Health Organization, celebrated annually to draw attention to specific health topics concerning people all over the world. And this morning we'll be joined by Dr. Olumide Obatuyi to speak in that regard. What are the things that we've trivialized as a people when it comes to health? Say hygiene to cancer. There are a lot of health conversations, and that's why we have Solutions Clinic to bring to light some of these conversations to make us have a better health generally. So we'll connect with him and we begin the conversation.
Keep it 93.9. Keep it 93.9. Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Okay, welcome back as we are planning to, establish contact with the doctor we'll be talking to this morning concerning the World Health Day. Let's get your opinion on some of the burning issues treated this morning, most especially looking at the bill that has gone through the second reading, saying that medical is it the doctors who have gone through their housemanship should stay 5 years in Nigeria before traveling out for greener pasture. Maybe if Nigeria is good enough, nobody will want to say that they're going out for greener pasture. And we'll also look at you were asking Dr. Cornerstone of the
$800 million palliative,
the palliative
that the federal government wants to give to over 10 million households in Nigeria, and this is essentially to ease the subsidy removal, the full subsidy that should be happening anytime soon, as proposed by the president-elect, that once it comes into power, subsidy will be removed.
I mean, that has become most talked about by past government, even the current government, removing subsidy. So that is another burning issue. Another burning issue this morning is about the reaction of ASU, talking about the 320 billion naira 2023 intervention fund, and looking at the leftover, which is 132 billion naira, and Tech Fund hasn't come out to say this is how much, this is what they want to use the 132 billion naira for. And ASU is saying, since their members called off the strike last year, there was none of the federal government has not done their part. Are we not bracing up for another round of ASU strike, NASU, NAT, and the likes? 0909-888-9939, 0912-222-2939, 0909-888-9939, or 0912-222-2939. Those are the lines to call this morning. Remember, we are live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939FM. You can as well send us a Facebook message on that platform. We're getting message from Adedeji Inkosola this morning on the Facebook page. We'll surely read the message after picking this set of calls. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost our call. 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. Let's check some messages out this morning on Facebook platform. Okay, so a message here coming from Adedeji Kosola says, why won't the doctors japa? What plans do they have for them? Everybody's looking for greener pasture. If our economy is good and all areas benefiting in their fields, please, why will they japa? Even if at all they want to travel, it will be for training, excursion, and maybe rest as well. The person in that sound, the person in that sound ask him where, the person who was talking, where are his own children? If that man sees a doctor and a UK doctor, and Nigerian doctor and a UK doctor in the same field, and he was asked, who does he want to operate on him? He would definitely choose UK doctor. I beg. If you have means to Jakwa, I beg, Jakwa.
Oh, well, we'll be joining Dr. Olumide now, who is a doctor, and I think it's right that we ask his opinion regarding this while we dive into the World Health Day commemoration.
Because if you look at the number of doctors that have Jakpa, I think Jakpa is now a dictionary.
It's a new word for Nigerians. Good morning to you, Dr. Olumide.
Dr. Olumide, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Great to have you join us.
It's nice to join you.
Yes, I mean, I'm very well, thank you. We were just talking about the REP's second reading to pass into law for doctors to stay 5 years in Nigeria and practice before leaving the country. Before we dive into the conversation of the World Health Day celebration, as a doctor, how does that make you feel?
Well, I believe that looking at it, one can understand the kind of pressure that they probably were under to come up with such a bill. But as someone in the system, it's obvious, everybody knows it, that it raises more questions than it answers. It causes even more problems than it solves, than it attempts to solve. You do not try to force people who are supposed to be dealing with lives to therefore deal with lives. It just doesn't make sense. I believe that the most basic, the most commonsensical thing to have done would have been, why are they going there in the first place? Why are people on different cadres, medical cadres, dropping their jobs, resigning their jobs? Some of them senior level. Why are they doing that and just dropping everything to travel out, knowing fully well that some of them are going to even start at levels a lot lower than what they were in Nigeria? And in any case, relocation is particularly very expensive. So why are they taking such huge risks to leave? You will begin to understand that if you cannot answer those questions, you cannot solve the problem. Or I don't think they can answer the questions, really. I believe they have refused to answer the question, or they are simply playing the ostrich, pretending as though it's just not there. So eventually, I believe what will happen is that this bill affects a certain demography of doctors, which is the young doctors. They are the ones who are targeted with a bill
With the
like
bill,
this.
yeah.
If you read the bill there. And so I think it makes matters considerably worse. There's nothing that is not related. Look at the political scene and everything. There's a sort of a great divide between the young people and the powers that be. Now, if you introduce something like this and the young people are the ones affected, I fear that there might be somewhat of a rebellion that will become louder. It's passive in the healthcare sector. It's happening. It's happening. Those of us in the healthcare sector know there's a problem. There's a rebellion against the system happening, against the country happening. But now I think it's going to get a lot louder. And I think eventually nobody gets anything solved. The patients don't get anything done. Everybody we are just back to square one, maybe even worse, considerably worse than where we are. So in my opinion, I don't think the bill makes any real sense, except, I don't know, I'm not a lawmaker.
Yes.
But I don't think it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Now, Doctor, don't you also think that this will also affect schools, with medical department, that will also reduce people studying medicine in Nigeria?
Doesn't it reduce?
Hope it won't reduce the number of students that want to go study medicine in some institutions in Nigeria.
Oh, definitely. I like to see issues on the short term, medium term, and long term. The long term effect will be that people are going to see this as a form of enslavement. And so the interpretation of it will be that, if I from here, I'm going to be enslaved to this government or enslaved to this country. So I'll rather not study the course at all, or I'll rather go somewhere else to study. It can be that simple. People can make very straightforward decisions like that, very simplistic, arrangement like that, and just say, I'm not going to study in this country in the first place. So I'm struggling to see. I like to see things from different perspectives. Yesterday, I've been struggling to see how this is really going to arrest what is going on, and it just doesn't see like it's catching anything. This dog is not hunting. The dog is not hunting at all.
All right, let's dive into the World Health Day awareness and celebration, which is commemorated every 7th of April 2023 for this year. Basically to raise awareness and help people live in a healthy lifestyle. Doctor, talk to us about some of the health diseases or some of the health cases that have been trivialized by the general populace. People don't really pay attention to some of these health issues. Can you just outline or highlight a few of them?
Well, I like to categorize them as, habits, environment, history. Let's put it that way. Most health conditions will fall under any of these three. Either one's habits, the history of one's family, or the environment one stays. More often than not, it will, come around those things. So I think the most important thing for we on this World Health Day is to be a lot more circumspect, is to be a lot more careful with consciousness of these three things. Number one, understand the family you are from. If possible, get to know what has gone wrong in the first place. Get to know, especially your first degree relatives. That is your father, your parents, those you are related to by blood. You know you are not related to your spouse by blood, but those that you are directly related to by blood, to get to know what their health statuses are, whatever it is that has gone wrong, whatever it is that has gone right, and try to let that inform your decision on your own self. And that is one. Two, your environment also matters. There are some very basic things. For instance, because we are Nigerians and we live in Nigeria, we can't run away from malaria. This is our thing. Yeah, it's our thing. Just like there are some diseases that are more common to the Jews.
Yeah.
In Europe, cystic fibrosis is their thing. That's their thing. So that is one thing that you should always have at the back of your mind, and you should be well guarded and prepared for. As at now, it should not be so difficult for you as a person to have malaria and not know what to do. At the most basic level, at least you should know what to do. So that is environment. Of course, the other parts of the environment are the parts you interact with, those people around you. If you have smokers, if you have people with infectious diseases, these are things that you must be careful about. You should always just, that consciousness should just be there that you are protecting yourself. And in any case, apart from the people you interact with, there are also things that interact that are not living things. That's where we come to cleanliness. Your environment, your as simple as your bed sheets. These are simple things people take for granted, things you do not take care of. You don't wash, you don't do this and all that. Your clothing, and then the habits, which I believe to be probably the biggest of them all. We tend to not have very good habits generally. Many of us don't have very good eating habits. Many of us don't have very good sexual habits. I mean, I've been on the program a few times, and I've said over and over again, the sexual habit of Nigerians is astonishingly poor. I mean, for people who have a lot of sex, it's astonishingly poor. So habits have a way of just destroying one. So you check your alcohol. If you take alcohol, I mean, it's fine if you do, but you should check it. Ideally, you shouldn't smoke. I mean, everybody knows that. I picked up a pack of cigarettes one of those days, and I looked at it. Not just was it written there that smokers are like that. They were lungs drawn there. I mean, pictures of healthy lungs and lungs infected with cancer drawn there. And the irony, it was an empty pack. So in my mind, I'm thinking someone saw this and went ahead and smoked off all things there. And he was looking at what I was looking at, and he just went ahead and smoked all of it. I think that's true. That should be checked. It should be checked. If you take out drugs and all that, find a way to get yourself to be without them. All right, it's not that easy. Then in recent times, we now talk about mental health. Because things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. We're in an environment, a country where things are not particularly are not very exciting. Let me put it that way. So a lot of people tend to not know until they are neck deep in mental issues. These days now we see 20-year-olds, 24-year-olds, or probably even teenagers coming up with clinical depression. So if we had had this discussion from 4 years ago, I wouldn't be adding this part. I'll just end with habits, environment. But we need to talk about mental health. So if we are talking about general well-being, so we need to talk about mental health. If you are the type that cannot take bad news, I'll give you an example. For someone like me, I've practically stopped listening to Nigerian news. I mean, it's just it's just for a while. I mean, for protection purposes, I don't want to go to work thinking of some nonsense and stuff like that. So I think for all of those things, we should be very attentive. Then I know that we do not have enough hands, medical doctors, nurses, medical laboratory scientists, but we are structured in such a way, we are social animals in Nigeria. We are structured in such a way that you know somebody who knows somebody. You know, we attend churches, we have people in clubs, you know, we always know people. We are not like Europeans who stay on their own. You have neighbors, and we go to your neighbors and all that. If you have a healthcare, a practitioner around you, once in a while, ask them questions. I feel they are safer to ask questions than Google, for instance. You know, I feel so.
No, I totally agree with you, because most times Google exaggerates cases.
Yes. So I feel that you should be very close to them. You should be very close to them. Then by now, as you start becoming an adult, and I'm talking to young people now, as you start becoming an adult, you know, you are living on your own, you are beginning to make decisions. I feel like one of the most responsible decisions you can make for yourself is health insurance. Makes perfect sense. Health insurance is one of those things that...
Yeah, you talked about health insurance. I mean, some organizations are meant to do that, but how do you feel, you being a doctor, and you know some organizations don't care about health insurance of their staff?
Well, I understand that some organizations might be quite reckless with that. It shouldn't be. But then, I don't know, I'm a Yoruba man, and there's a Yoruba proverb I've heard several times. They'll say, or something along those lines, which means that work continues after you. So I think if your organization is reckless, I don't think they stop you yourself from finding your own arrangements.
So what are the, I mean, if you want to have easy health insurance, there are some platforms, right? I know state government has one.
Yes.
So,
in fact, state government, OISHA, is one of the easiest to get on. And I think practically one of the most economical to get on. Just my point is, get on one of those things. Ensure that you have a backup as regards healthcare. It's good not to need them. It's good not to need them. But I think it's important if you do have them. All right. And then, of course, I think one of those things that has kept Nigerians a lot more healthy is the social nature of Nigerians. We are such that it's very difficult for a Nigerian not to have people to rely on. I think I'm still a big fan of family. I'm still a big fan of friendships. I'm still a big fan of, you know, religious institutions and all that. They might not necessarily be the ones giving injections and all that, but they are present in your life and help sometimes to diffuse problems that you might have and all that. And they might be the ones who advise you. So I think that nobody should live in isolation. Nobody should live in isolation. You should always have people around you. These are little habits that can help you know, that can help you live a healthy life.
Thank you so much, Doc. Thank you for a broad understanding and very, very enlightening conversation around living a healthy life. I must say thank you to Dr. Olumide Obatoye for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure joining you.
All right. Have yourself a wonderful Good Friday.
I mean, part of the things learned from that interview, you know, health insurance is key. And, you know, you also, hygiene is also key. You cannot say because, well, you are the only one living alone, you don't care. You leave some, you know, dirty bed sheets, pillowcases.
I mean, the World Malaria Day is coming up shortly, I think the 25th of April, and he spoke about malaria, and I think it's one very common health condition that we trivialize. Everybody's now used to, once I'm down with malaria, I just get a few drugs, but malaria kills as well.
Drug abuse,
and we want to ensure that you're educated in that light so you don't become a victim.
Okay, let's go on a break, and when we return, we'll look at one or two issues, then we'll wrap up the show. Do not go anywhere. It is still AM Update live on Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash, as long as you get Momo account. No cash, no wahala, and e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Saleko is the jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don land for Prime Video and na the #1 film, so make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adesuwa Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more. Plus the gege action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos, and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oya, check back to Prime Video.
Ó ga jù àwọn súwìtì tí iléeṣẹ́ ẹ̀sùn máa ṣe ẹrẹ́bẹ́ntẹ́mọ̀ ni ká máa lá súwìtì báyìí ká gbàgbé ìrònú kò sí kọ́ kò sí kàtá vitamíìkì coffee bite candy crush bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bisikíìtì wa tó o bá ti jẹ́ báyìí tó o bomi lé lórí ara rẹ̀ á sì balẹ̀ pẹ̀sẹ̀ light cracker ni beast crunchy ni lunch pack fiber active cabin lucky chewing gum wa ó dùn lẹ́nu ó bùyàrì world cup chewing gum ni robot zoom ọ̀ọ̀kì yálé búrẹ́dì wọn ó wà ń bẹ̀ gbogbo ilé ìtajà pátá ó nà mọ̀lẹ́tì lè ríra o oúnjẹ Suma tọ̀wò kó o gbádùn rẹ̀ dọ́ba.
Suma Foods, love and trust bites.
Welcome back to AM Update Live on your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM, and this is the last lap on the show. Well, remember Priscilla Olu also gave us the update from the Cathedral Church here in Okebola, and also part of the message. We know some churches will surely have some going 12 o'clock, some 4 o'clock. And well, the message here is that for those going out today, just make sure you stay safe out there. Although the Oyo State, NSCDC came out to say that they have like over 1,000, officers, dispersed across the state to make sure that there's security of lives and properties during the Easter celebration. And another thing I wanted to look at is I hope there won't be increase in prices of goods, in town, most especially for transportation as well. I mean, earlier this morning I saw some guys, traveling. So I feel like,
well, people usually, I think it's customary with Nigerians during festive period like this to travel to their different hometowns. I mean, when I was when we were still in the north, myself particularly, once it gets into Christmas, Easter, there's always the thought of, oh, who is traveling? Especially if you travel during Christmas, then a particular set of people will travel for Easter, because you want to be around family. Easter celebrations like this brings the sense of unity and communal with family. So I think it's very important for people who want to travel, especially if your place isn't that far. Thankfully,
I mean, that's the clause.
Yes, that's the clause actually.
Because I'm just trying to imagine you're traveling on a Friday. You spend just Saturday, Sunday, and you're coming back on Easter Monday.
No, for people who make
for those journeys, who stay, who are traveling farther.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. For people who make these journeys, they travel before. Maybe they go a week before. Say they travel on Monday. I don't know how to do it. If you're working in the civil service, that would be difficult. It's for people who have businesses. You can risk, traveling, that longer period so you can be with family. I mean, I can't travel, say for me who would travel from Bauchi to Owerri at the time. I can't do a 3-day journey, and that's very stressful. Being on the road or even taking flights, it's a lot of money that's been incurred in a journey like that. Well, yeah, Easter celebration is one that I'm really looking forward to. Even though I'm a very single man, I'll have to, just be by myself.
Well, apart from that, you'll still be at work. You'll be at work on Sunday. You'll be
no, but it's a good thing.
On Friday,
actually, and I'll be at work on Sunday.
I mean, on Sunday and Monday.
Well, it is what it is. That's what some of us do. That's why they call some of us.
Look at this year for you, Victory. I mean, for
I was at work on Christmas, I was at work on New Year, and I'll still be at work.
Don't worry.
This is a clarion call that I need all the food there is.
Don't tell me you're using this opportunity to call for food again. Okay, so let's check what the weatherman is saying today as we wrap up the show this morning. Okay, so the weatherman is saying that the weather will be on 33 degrees Celsius by 12 p.m., increases to 34 by 1 p.m., increase to 36 by 3 p.m., but drop by 4 p.m. So the weather will be a little bit down and will 33, 31, 30 by 7 p.m. So maybe people shouldn't be scared of rain this today, because what the weatherman is saying here, according to Acute Weather. But another weather forecast is saying that I think I saw something this morning like brace up for thunderstorm, rain and thunderstorm.
Thunderstorm with the kind of heat that we experience. I don't think any thunder or rain is even happening anytime soon. The heat has been very, very crazy.
And I mean, places, around Okeado here is hard for you to have. I mean, if you have well, it will be difficult for you to get water at this moment. At this period, unless you have boreholes, right? So it's difficult to get water. The heat is crazy. Even in the office, when your AC is not on, is a big problem. So that is for the weather. So I mean, for anybody planning to have the Easter celebration, but just know what to put on. And if you're traveling with your picnic car, you can put maybe rubber stuff in your car in case there is a rain. So that is for that. But yesterday. So let's just switch a bit before we wrap up. Yesterday, I saw. I don't know if it was the message between Ashake and Davido. Ashake dropped a song yesterday, 2:30, and the people were like, okay. Can't you just allow Davido rest on the top chart? And
I don't even think Ashake is going to level up to number one with this record. Davido has over 17 songs from 1 to 17.
Did you see my message yesterday?
By Davido, no.
I think out of the 17 songs, it's only 3 songs that really, that really gets my attention. And with the 3 songs, yes, the album can go far. But without the 3 songs, how will you have 17 tracks in an album and you have just 3 bangers?
I don't think
even the one with Angelique Kidjo, the one with Angelique Kidjo is not really moving.
What we'll talk about here is the social capital invested in the remaining records. What we've seen on social media is these 3 songs unavailable, Feel and Them being promoted. It doesn't mean people are not listening, because if we don't have people listening to the remaining
tracks,
14 songs, it won't be occupying Apple Music 1 to 17. So people are listening to it. Just that more social capital has been invested in the 3 songs that you've highlighted. But I think a lot of people are actually listening to it.
Okay, so someone is complaining here that it's not only water. Some people get plants and they think it's generator. They should actually consider their neighbors during this period, most especially people who switch on their.
I better pass my neighbor. That's what it's calling.
Seriously, there are some generators that sound like plants. Do you know what they call plants?
You know, I have never taken time to know what when people call generator plants. I have never taken time to.
I mean, talk about the sound. You cannot sleep as soon as they switch on.
What's the connection with plant? Because I have never done it.
One is big. I mean, the sound is loud.
So what's plants in it? That's I want to understand the plants.
No, they feel like you plant a generator. You know, the
oh
big
my
one.
god! Because even in the East they call it plant. I'm like, go and turn on the plant. And now,
because I mean, you know, there's some there's some generators that they whine, and leave it. You know, the way it sounds, the smoke and the lights, and it's used for industrial.
Purposes,
jobs. So they call it. Some people call it plants, but you know, because of the kind of persons we have,
we can name things. We can name things.
So that's it, and that's part of the problems. I mean, we are also facing. You have your neighbor switch on gen around 4-5 a.m. and you won't be able to sleep till like 7:30 a.m. It also goes back to we go back to the economy of the country. Some people don't have the luxury of getting a shop to pay for a shop when the shop goes for like 1 million naira a year. And how many clients do you have? For example, you're a fashion designer, you are into maybe nylon making. You have to quickly produce.
The truth of the matter is, if you notice,
So you
most
want to
fashion
use your
designers
house.
have their outlets in their houses.
So
now,
they even do more of online.
Yeah.
So they post their works online. And they use their houses for those who have 3-bedroom flats.
I can't blame them. Imagine paying for a 3-bedroom and then you're paying for a shop of over 500.
It's crazy.
200.
It's crazy.
Oh no.
So
That's a lot of
I mean, that's just like what is happening to a lot of entrepreneurs out there. But I mean, if you have a neighbor that is also using that, maybe you guys should just have a meeting.
You should probably have a segment for entrepreneurs where they come to speak about their experiences, challenges, and just successes in business. It will help startups to also take a cue from there and become better moving forward.
All right, from this part, we say our BYEs on AM update for this week, and it makes a return next week, Monday, from 9 o'clock with Kiko Sports Show. And remember, Victory Richard will be on Monday on AM update for Solutions Clinic.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what we'll be treating on Solutions Clinic.
I guess we'll find out, but brace yourself for that one. Happy Easter to everyone. Sadly, for some of us, we'll be at work to also celebrate Easter.
We are here. I'll be back 2 o'clock for the Friday show. Well, this is Kenny Kore Atirami Kwada.
My name is Victory Richard.
And my name is Oladapo Kunubi.
I'm down at the altar. I'm down at the altar. Why?